I was working the night shift alone at a 24-hour gym. Around 2 a.m., I noticed a man on a treadmill in the corner, running 9 miles per hour for 15 minutes without stopping. When I walked out to check on him, I saw the treadmill was covered in blood. His feet were bare. They were tearing apart with every step. He didn't stop. He didn't slow down. He just kept staring straight ahead with his mouth open. When I yelled at him to stop, he said in the coldest voice I have ever heard, "Are you there?" This memory still terrifies me. Outside of police and some close family, this is the first time I've fully revisited it. A few years ago, I got my first job at a 24-hour gym. I was in a gap year between high school and college, so I worked a lot of night shifts. The gym was open around the clock, with keycard access only, meaning often there was just 1 or 2 employees on the whole site. Members could check in, use the equipment, and leave. The facility essentially managed itself digitally. All I really had to do was sit in the office, monitor cameras, walk around occasionally, do some light cleaning, and talk to guests. This was in a rough part of town, but for the most part, everyone was friendly. A small gym where regulars tend to know each other. This one specific night, I was working 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. Long, boring shift. Around 2 a.m., I had finished all my rounds and paperwork and was sitting at the cameras. Everything was normal. Not many people come in to work out at 2 a.m., but there were a couple of regulars who came and went. I'd been there a few months, so I recognized almost everyone. Except one man. I first noticed him on the treadmill in the far corner. Normally, a new guest wouldn't catch my attention, but something made me look twice. I pulled up his treadmill number in the system, where I could monitor all equipment activity in real time. He was running 9 miles per hour. That's fast. That's genuinely impressive. But what I kept watching for was, he never stopped. 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Not once did he slow or take a break or even shift his pace. I leaned closer to the camera feed and looked at him properly. The way I can only describe it is, unsettling doesn't cover it. He was wearing ragged clothes, long, messy hair. His face had not moved a single time in 15 minutes of running, just staring straight ahead, completely still expression, like nobody was home. Then I noticed his feet. He was barefoot, running 9 miles per hour for 15 minutes on a treadmill, barefoot, just staring into the distance. I was the only employee in the building. He was now the only member remaining. Just the two of us, in a 24-hour gym at 2 a.m. And something about what I was watching on that camera made me not want to go out there. We have a policy requiring shoes. I used that as my reason to leave the office, the professional excuse to go do what I was genuinely afraid to do. I walked out to the floor. The machine he was on was almost directly outside the employee hallway. I turned the corner. The treadmill was covered in blood. His feet were tearing apart as he ran. Not just bleeding, tearing. Blood not only dripping but splattering with every impact of his bare feet on the belt. A growing pool at the end of the conveyor. His face was still completely still, staring straight ahead, mouth open, not looking at me, not looking at the blood, not looking at anything. He looked like he was on every substance simultaneously, and something in my gut told me he was dangerous. I still yelled at him to stop. I don't know where I found that. I had to raise my voice over the sound of his feet hitting the belt. He didn't turn his head. He didn't slow. He just kept running and staring forward with his mouth open. I yelled again, something like, "Hello, what are you doing?" He said, in the coldest, most hollow voice I have ever heard from a human being, "Are you there?" He wasn't out of breath. He wasn't panting. He said it as calmly as if he was sitting still. I told him to stop again several more times. Each time, "Are you there?" Same voice, same tone, same nothing behind the eyes. pool of blood at the end of the treadmill was growing. I went back to the office and picked up my phone to call the police. Before I dialed, I glanced at the monitors. He was staring directly at the camera, still running, still bleeding, still mouth open, staring at the camera like he knew exactly where it was. I looked away from the screen. Then from outside the office door, he started screaming. Not words, just screaming, at the top of his lungs, so deep it barely sounded human. I watched on the monitor as he stepped off the treadmill without turning it off and sprinted out of the camera frame. I clicked through every feed looking for him. 1 through 5, empty. Then I checked the employee hallway camera. He was standing 6 feet from the office door. I have no idea how he got into that hallway without a key card. I didn't think about that. I just locked the door. 5 seconds after I locked it, the handle rattled. Then the screaming started again, and the door shaking. I was in the corner of the office on the phone with dispatch, trying to explain what was happening, while a man whose feet were shredded from running barefoot for 20 minutes screamed on the other side of the door with a voice that barely sounded like a person. The dispatcher told me police were 5 minutes out. 5 minutes. I genuinely thought if he got through that door, I was not going to make it. I felt completely helpless, in a way I had never felt before. And I couldn't stop thinking about his voice saying, "Are you there?" Like he wasn't even sure I was real. Then the screaming stopped. The door went still. I checked the cameras. He was gone. Every feed. Just gone. No exit recorded. No trace. Just blood on the treadmill and a pool on the floor. And silence. When the police arrived, I made them search the entire building before I would leave the office. They found nobody. I answered their questions and drove home. I quit the next day and have not entered that gym since. I still don't know what he wanted, or what he was, or where he went. I just know that voice asking, "Are you there?" in that flat, empty tone, while blood pooled beneath him, is something I will never fully leave behind.